So we are starting the session now, and I think let me share my screen with you. Let me share my screen with you, and the content which we have covered up in the last class is the introduction of leverage analysis. Okay, and as I told in the last class, leverage is basically nothing but the assessment of companies' liabilities, assessment of companies' burden when it comes to financial and non-financial aspects. Okay. Now, when it comes to leverage and a levered and unlevered firm, levered firm, I told you, like when the company having at least some part of equity and debt combination, that is called the levered company. And unlevered companies basically are those companies, those who are using only equity capital, they do not have any debt capital at all. Okay. So that would be called as unlevered company. Okay. And after that, I think we discussed all this particular component along with this process we have covered up, that what would be the risk component when it comes to levered and unlevered company that we have covered up. We have also discussed, I think, this example, if you remember, the leverage, the basic formula would be percentage change in dependent variable upon percentage change in independent variable. Okay. So that we have already covered up. Okay. Now, I think this part is clear to everyone. We have discussed in the last class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Next, I think we have, that is, I think this income statement we have discussed as well. This is also clear to everyone. That is sales minus variable cost is contribution. Contra minus fixed cost is EBIT. And EBIT minus interest is PBT, that is profit before tax. And once we subtract taxation, then we have that is PAT, which is called the earning per share available. Okay. So after meeting all the taxation part. Is it clear, please, everyone? This income statement is very important actually while solving question of leverages. Yes, students, please kindly confirm. Is it clear? I think this part we have covered up in the last class only. Hanji. Okay, fine. So, like I think we have discussed this formula as well, operating leverages. I think so. If percentage is in EBIT, percentage in sales, and the degree of operating leverage is contribution upon EBIT. Because the important part in this chapter is this particular income statement or flow statement that we need to mug up properly. That like same what we discussed in the capital budgeting as well. Clear? And I think we discussed this formula in the last class. That is over the operating leverages. Students, we have done with this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Now the next step, next I think we have discussed one question of the same or not. Yeah, this question I think we have discussed as well. Operating leverages. Hanji, this question we have completed 2.5 and 3, and I think we have discussed as well. Higher the operating leverages, higher would be the risk or higher would be the burden on the company, and that company would be more risky as compared to the company having low leverages. Clear? Hanji, is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. Now, the next component which we need to discuss is about degree of operating leverages. Okay, what actually the significance of degree of operating leverages, and I think a formula for the same we have discussed as well. It is percentage change in EBIT upon percentage change in sales. Okay. So I'll just take one question and we'll discuss this particular topic of degree of operating leverages. Okay. Now, I think before moving further, I think let me discuss this financial leverages and composite leverages so that we can discuss the question in combination with all three topics. Okay. I think operating leverage is clear to everyone. Whenever we talk about the company's sales increase or decrease, okay, because if the company's sales would be on the higher side, definitely company's EBIT means profit would be on the higher side, and the company's sales on the lower side, definitely the particular profit of the company would be on the lower side. So operating leverage basically associated with the sales volume and the change in profit. Okay, it means that it measures the effect of change in sales revenue on the level of EBIT. And the formula was operating leverage is percentage change in EBIT upon percentage change in sales. Same degree of operating leverage is quantity upon EBIT. Okay. The second component we have, yeah, this question I think we discussed now. It is percentage change in. I think we have discussed this part or not? The second question.
No, sir.
Okay, okay, perfect. So you can see this question right now. A company sells 1,000 units at 10 rupees per unit. The cost of production is 7 rupees per unit and is of variable in nature. Means variable cost is 7 rupees and selling price is 10 rupees. The profit of the firm is definitely 1,000 into 10 minus 7. That is 3,000 rupees total profit. Okay. Suppose the firm is able to increase the sales level by 40%, resulting in a total sales of 1,400. Now company sales is increased by 40%, means 1,400 units, and according to that, company's profit will change. So profit will also increase to 4,200. What we have to calculate over here is the operating leverage, degree of operating leverage. Because whenever we have comparison of two different sales level, we can actually calculate this particular part. You can see that percentage change in EBIT upon percentage change in sales. Okay. So that is, but increase in EBIT is, what is EBIT increase is? 4,200 minus 3,000. That is 1,200 upon EBIT. That is 3,000. Original one. Okay. Upon increase in sales, that would be for 4,000. Sorry, 400, not 4,000. Okay. I think calculations are wrong over here. So that calculation would be 1,200 upon 3,000 divided by change in sales is basically only 400 divided by original sales 1,000. Okay, so that would be the calculation actually. So if you can calculate that, I think 3 4s are 12 and 1 4s are 4. So 4 will cancel out. Is it clear, please, everyone? Yes, students. Is it clear, please? Increase in sales, or you could say change, because whenever we talk about percentage change formula, okay, so always remember the formula for percentage change for any calculation, it would be final value minus initial value upon initial value. Okay, always remember this formula. Okay, and that's the formula we applied actually. Final is, like in the case of EBIT, 4,200 minus 3,000. So that is your 1,200 upon initial is 3,000. Clear, everyone? Yes, everyone. Is it clear how we calculate one? Please kindly confirm. Have you noted
Yes,
down
sir.
as well? Please note down this part, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see that what is the basic significance of this one. If OL is 1, it signifies that the profit level or EBIT level will change directly in the proportion of your sales. When the sales increase by 40%, your EBIT will increase by 40%. So there is a direct proportion or direct relationship between these two variables. Is it clear? Hanji, is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir. Sir, please make my note कर लें एक बार.
Yeah, sure. Please take your time. Because these topics are again very formula-based topics actually. Okay. Yes, done everyone? If done, we can move to the next topic and few more questions. Okay. Because today we have to complete this topic and we'll solve all the questions related to that.
Sir, did I note it down? Can you show the slide again?
Yeah, sure. Now we can discuss this one more question of this degree of operating leverages. As you can see that the current value is given to you sales, variable cost, contribution, fixed cost, and EBIT. You just simply need to apply the formula and you can calculate that. I think, isn't it simple? I think because the original one is 1000 units and the new one is basically 14,000, and both having fixed cost of 1,000, variable cost 7 rupees per unit. So like you can see that sales is 10,000 and it is 14,000. Same variable cost 7 rupees per unit. FC is also given to you. So you can calculate EBIT for both and simply apply this formula. Change in EBIT upon change in sales. Clear everyone? Yes, friend. Shall we start please? Next part. If it is clear.
So noting down.
Have you noted down as well, please, this question as well? Because in this question, it is 1.5. Okay. So it means that the percentage increase the level of EBIT is 1.5 times that of sales. Is 1.5 times that of sales. Clear? Yes, student. Is it clear, please, everyone? If clear, then I think we should move to the financial leverages now, the next topic. We have one more question to do, and because I'll discuss few questions with you. I'll give you a few questions, and we can discuss those questions as well.
Sir, how 98 100 came in expected, sir? I'm not able to understand.
Ma'am, it is seven rupees per unit, and number of
Yes.
yeah, it is basically from 1,000. It is 1,400. So 1,400 into 7, because this total sales. Okay, so 10
Okay,
rupees
sir.
per unit. It is 1,000. It is 1,400, ma'am.
Okay, okay, sir.
Clear? Yeah. And you understood what is the significance of 1.5? Means whenever there is change in level of EBIT. Okay. Okay. So if the EBIT change by 1.5, your sales will also change in this particular direction. Okay. So I can see that 60% change in your EBIT, 40% change in your sales. So it is 1.5 times whenever we talk about, because as you can see that if the sales increases, your profit margin definitely increases. So you can see that 40% increase in sales, 60% increase in the EBIT. That is your earning per share or earning available. Clear? Everyone? Hanji. Everyone, is it clear? Please kindly confirm.
Yes.
Hanji, Hanji. So let's move to, I think, no, this is not the question. Now we'll move directly to financial averages. Okay. Now, as I told you, like when we discuss about this particular fixed obligation, when it comes to your interest payment or dividend payment, so any type of, you could say, financial liabilities or financial obligation, that would come under category of your financial leverages. Okay. Now, the formula for calculating financial leverages. Yeah, this is the financial leverage formula. You can see that percentage change in EPS divided by percentage change in EBIT. When we'll apply this formula? When we have two different year, or we have a comparison of the years. In that time, we'll apply this. Or we can apply this particular formula, EBIT upon EBT into EBIT minus I. No, sorry. EBIT upon EBT. Either it is EBT or EBIT minus I. Okay. So it should be or in between. Okay. Yes. EBIT, EBT or EBIT minus. Clear? Hanji. Note the formula, please. Financial leverages. Yes, we're done. I think with the formula, financial leverages. Hanji. Now, the next part which
Yes,
we
sir.
have is the questions now. Okay. So I'll take this, Derek, this question. First of all, just copy this and read this question because these questions are a bit tricky now. Financial leverages. Okay. Now, first of all, I think hope you it is clear to everyone because whenever we discuss financial leverages, means the earning available after interest. For example, if you have the interest burden in terms of debt capital, I'm talking right now. So higher the debt capital, higher the interest burden, and higher would be the financial leverage. As you can see right now on the bottom of my screen, actually on the denominator, higher the interest, make sure higher the interest, higher would be the value of FL. Okay, so always remember when we discuss about the financial leverages, it is very, very important to understand about the consideration of the interest level. If the company having higher debt obligation means higher interest obligation. In such a cases, they always need to keep in mind about how to manage their financial expenses or financial obligations towards their investors. Clear, everyone? Please kindly note down this question as well. Along with, we'll discuss because we have to discuss four basic components. Under this four basic components, what should be the financial leverages? Okay, please note down fast. We'll discuss this question now. Yes, when once done, please let me know. We can discuss this question because this financial leverage is a bit tricky, okay, as compared to operating. And one after that, we'll discuss one common question of these two leverages. Okay. Yes, friends, shall we start? If it is done. Yes, students, shall we start? I think. Yes, am I clearly audible, please? Kindly confirm. Yes, students, shall we start, please? Kindly confirm. I hope so. You have copied this question.
So still copying.
Okay. Please do it fast. Hanji, shall we start, please? Now, in this question, as you can see right now, the company having currently 40 lakh rupees of equity shares, 40 lakh rupees, which includes your 40,000 equity shares of 100 rupees each. Now, when we discuss about this 100 rupees each, 100 rupees basically is your face value. Okay, I think we discussed in the last classes about what is the meaning of face value and all. Okay, if you remember. Okay, so total equity share capital is 40 lakh. Just tell me one thing, if the company is only having equity capital, is it a levered company or unlevered company?
So unlevered company.
It's an unlevered company because they are not liable to pay any interest, any amount to their debt holder or any other person. Okay, not a permanent liability, you can say on that. Okay. So always remember one thing, because in this case, we have to study this particular company on the basis of this particular 4 major, you could say, topics. Okay. That is the part about your first case. You can see that afterwards. And what the company is doing now, the company want to expand their capital. As you can see the next line right now. Okay. The company want to expand 30 lakh rupees. Okay. And that 30 lakh rupees is basically the company want to expand either of this particular following 4 sources. Either of the following 4 sources. Okay. Now these sources may be like, when we talk about the first one, is only through equity. So as I discussed with you, that if the company is only going through with equity, definitely they do not have any obligation in terms of interest burden or interest payments. Am I clear, please? First option, entirely through equity shares, the 30 lakh rupees which they want. Yes, students? I hope it is clear. That is the first option is entirely through equity. I mean, definitely they will raise the equity share only. And in that case, definitely they do not have the burden in terms of leverages. Am I clear, please, everyone?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Second option, you can see that 15 lakh through equity shares, and remaining one means the remaining would be 15 lakh through debentures. Okay. So 15 lakh equity shares, 15 lakh debentures. So that would be again the part of your one more option to raise that 30 lakh rupees of capital. Is it clear? Third option is that 10 lakh equity shares and 20 lakh remaining would be through long-term loan, means again it would be a debt option for you. Okay, you are liable to pay interest on that. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear, please, everyone? Kindly confirm.
Can you tell once again, sir?
Yeah, basically what we are doing, the four options which is given to you, entire through equity, entire through, that is 15 lakh through equity, 15 lakh through debt, 10 lakh through equity, and the remaining part 30 lakh through, 20 lakh through debt. Okay. And the last option you can see right now, that is about your 15 lakh through equity shares and remaining through 50 preference shares. Okay. So there are different options we have in this particular category. Is it clear, please, everyone? The four options through which the company can raise. We need to evaluate this particular option, that which option would be better in terms of, you could say, leverage analysis.
Okay, sir.
Is it clear, please, everyone? Is it clear, please, everyone? So that we can start the calculation part. Yes, friends, shall we start with the calculation now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Now you can see this question right now. First calculation. As you can see that the financial plan 1, 15 lakh rupees through debt obligation. Sorry. No, entirely through equity. The financial plan number 1 is okay. Yeah, just a minute. I think it is EBIT is given to you with 15 lakh in this particular question. Yeah, EBIT 15 lakh is given to you. So start with EBIT each and every part. Now you can see that if we are only raising through equity shareholder, definitely we are not liable to pay any loan or any interest on that. Is it clear, please, everyone? Is it clear, please, everyone? Yes, students, is it clear, everyone? The first option. Okay. So there is no amount in interest on debenture and interest on long-term loans. I hope so it is clear. Anji.
Sir, noting down.
And the first option is not clear. First financial plan. Student, please kindly confirm. Okay, if you will interact with the faculty, definitely I would be pace up my lecture accordingly. But if the things are not clear, definitely we need to move accordingly. Anji.
Okay, sir.
Is this part clear what we are discussing right now? Or not?
Oh, sir, can you tell it once again? This
Yeah, sure. See, the financial plan 1, that's the reason I told you just to copy the question, okay? The financial plan 1, you can see that under financial plan 1, there is no debt obligation we are going for. And if there is no debt obligation, means the company can only raising through equity shareholding. Company is only raising through equity shareholding. There is no debt. So in such a case, if the company is not going for equity shareholding, then definitely there is no interest payment and there is no payment in terms of long-term debt. I mean, there is no loan at all. The first part, you can see that no interest, no long-term borrowings. So whatever your EBIT is your EBT, because there is no debt in the first option. Haji. Is it clear, please, everyone? There is no debt option in the first one, okay? Haji.
Yes, it is clear.
Yes, it is clear. First option, please.
Yes.
Then after that, from EBT, we'll subtract the 50% taxes. That is 7.5 lakh. So what is left now? It is EAT, earning after tax. And from earning after tax, there is no preference dividend. So whatever earning after tax is available, it is earning for equity shareholder. Because you can see that in this particular part, the earning which is available to us, it is only through equity shareholder. Okay. So you can see that 7.5 lakh is the earning available for equity shareholders. Is it clear, please, everyone? That's the reason we didn't subtract anything amount of interest or long-term loans or debentures. Yes, friends, clear? Shall we go to the second option now? I'll explain you the next part in the later half, okay? First of all, is understand this financial plan 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is very important to discuss right now. Shall we start? The financial plan 2?
Wait, sir, noting down.
Okay. Sorry. Haji, financial plan 1 is clear. What is earning for equity shareholder? How it is calculated? If it is clear, then we can move to the next part, please.
सर एक बार फिर से समझा दीजिए सब वन वाला सर.
हाँ देखिए मैम, इसमें देखिए मैम फर्स्ट ऑप्शन में अगर आप क्वेश्चन देखेंगे तो हमारे पास ओनली इक्विटी शेयर के थ्रू ही हम लोगों ने हमारा हमारा कैपिटल जो 30 लाख हमें रेज करना है ना, वो हमने 30 लाख ओनली इक्विटी के थ्रू रेज किया है. और आपको पता है कि अगर हम इक्विटी के थ्रू अगर रेज करते हैं तो उस केस में हमें कोई भी इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट नहीं देना होता है. ठीक है. अब इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट अगर आपको पे नहीं करना है, इट मीन्स आपका जो भी अमाउंट है, जो भी अर्निंग आपकी बचेगी, वो किसके लिए होगी? ओनली इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स के लिए. Okay, so now you can see that in my first calculation, there is no interest on debenture and there is no interest on long-term borrowing. Okay, and that's the reason the first financial plan is without any interest obligation. I mean, the company do not have any financial leverage. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You can do second option now. Under again, EBIT is given to you, which is 15 lakh. But in the second option, we have some debt. Debts of how much? 15 lakh at 8% debenture. So निकालिए 15 lakh का 8% कितना आएगा? 15 lakh 8%. Student, if you want, I will just mix my lecture in Hindi and English. Okay? Because important thing is that you should understand everything, whatever I'm explaining right now. I'm comfortable with both. So you can just let me know if you want to make any changes when it comes to languages. So I'll mix my language if you want.
No, sir, explain in English only.
Yes, yes, sure, Bobby. So if you can see that 15 lakh 8%, it would be 1.2 lakh. If you can calculate please, interest amount of 15 lakh rupees. Because out of 30 lakh, the company is raising 15 lakh through equity shares, but remaining 15 lakh is through that is debt. So the company is liable to pay interest on that. Company is liable to pay interest on that. So that would be basically the part of your interest obligation. Is it clear, please, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. If you can see afterwards, like from EBIT, if we subtract the interest of 1.2 lakh, we will get only 13 lakh 80,000. Okay. Now out of that, we have to pay taxes. So we pay taxes now. From taxes, we have to, you could say, sorry, there is no preference. No preference share is there. No preference share. So 6.9 lakh remaining. 6.9 lakh remaining would be the capital amount only. Would be the earning available for equity shareholder. Now you can see that the earning available for equity shareholder in the first option is
Slide is
higher.
not viewable.
Pardon?
Slide is not viewable.
Sir, you have to pin my screen, I think so. You have to pin my screen. Is it visible? I think so, everyone.
It
Yes.
was visible, but now it is not visible.
Okay, just a minute. Resume presenting. Now?
Yes, sir, now visible.
Yeah, sure. So you can see that the earning available for equity share in the first option is higher. Why so? Because company is only going for equity share. But in second option, company has permanent obligation of 1.2 lakh, which is in terms of debt. So in that case, your equity share earning would basically reduce by 60,000 rupees. Is it clear? Second option, please. How we calculate this particular earning available for equity shareholders? Is this clear, everyone?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, third option, you can see that out of 15 lakh of EBIT, the company having interest on long-term borrowing. Okay, you can see that because the remaining 20 lakh we will raise. Third option now, please. Under third option, the company will raise long-term debt of 20 lakh at 9% interest. So 20 lakh, 9% would be 1.8 lakh. So 1.8 lakh would be interest on long-term loan. You'll subtract, you'll get EBT, taxation, and now you can see that again, the earning for equity is lesser. Why? Because only 10 lakh of equity we are raising now. So the company having equity share earning would be on the lesser side. Clear? Is it clear, please, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So now for the fourth option, you can see that out of 15 lakh, we are raising only, I think, through preference share. I think so. Is it so? Last option. Yeah, 15 lakh equity and 15 lakh preference share. Okay. So you can see that there is no interest payment. Out of 15, 7.5 is the tax. Now, 75,000, you can see that the 15 lakh or at 5%. So 15 lakh, 5% would be 75,000. So preference dividend, 75,000. Now you can see that earning for equity shareholder available is 6.75 lakh. Is it clear, please? First half of this question. Financial plan 1, financial plan 2, financial plan 3 and 4. Everyone? Haji. Everyone, is it clear, please? Haji, is it clear, everyone?
Okay.
Haji. Now you can see that the next half of this particular part. In the first case, how many equity shares now? Is it 70,000? How is 70,000? First of all, you can see that the existing shares is 40,000 in the first case. Okay. And entirely, if you are raising through equity shares, so that is 30,000 more. So 40 plus 30, 70. Understood? Number of equity shares. In the second half, we have only 55 because 15 lakh rupees of equity we are raising. So 40 plus 15, 55. In third case, we are raising only 10 lakh of equity shares. So 40 plus 10, 50. And in the last case, we only having preference shareholders. Okay. No, equity also we have, I think. Yeah, equity also we have. So 40 by 15, 55. Understood how we calculate number of equity shares? So just a minute, okay? Yes, and sorry for the interruption. Yeah. So number of equity shares are clear, please? 70, 55, 50, and 55. Now we need to calculate EPS, earning per share. That is total earning upon number of equity shares. 7.5 upon 70, 6.9 upon 55, 6.6 upon 50, 6.75 upon 55. So that will be earning per share available. Okay. Clear, everyone? What is EPS? How we calculate it? Yes, students, please kindly confirm. Understood how we calculate EPS? I hope so. Am I audible, please, to everyone?
Yes.
Now, after that, we need to calculate DFL. What is the formula for DFL? Degree of financial leverages. That is EBIT upon EBT. Yes, friend, there is a formula, I think, for DFL. EBIT upon EBT. Haji. Is it so? Yes, students. EBIT upon EBT. Is it clear, please? You can see that EBIT upon EBT. 15 upon 15, 1. 15 upon 13.8, 1.087. 15 upon 13.2, 1.136, and 15 upon 15 is 1. Now, what does signify? Please kindly copy the answer first of all, and then we'll discuss exactly.
So please explain, sir, EPS, how EPS is calculated.
EPS simple about total earning upon number of shares. 7.95 upon 70, 6.9 upon 55, 6.6 upon 50, 6.75 upon 55.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please note down fast. We'll just understand actually what is the meaning of this DFL and how we can interpret the result after all the calculations. Are you done, everyone? Haan ji, students. Student, please kindly confirm. Is it clear, everyone? EPS, DFL. Yes, student, please kindly confirm. Is it clear, everyone? Haan ji. Now you can see that under DFL calculation, higher the DFL, you can see that why the DFL is highest in 1.136, because you can see that the interest obligation is very, very high as compared to other 4 options or other 3 options you have. Okay. So always remember, if your interest burden is higher, definitely DFL will be higher. And if the interest burden is higher, your financial leverage would be always higher, because company is liable to pay the fixed obligation of 1.8 lakhs to their long-term borrowings. Comparatively, this 1.2 lakh, you can say that is 1.087, and it is 1.1. You can see there is no interest obligation. So how we can interpret this particular result when it comes to DFL calculation? Clear? everyone? Yes, students, please kindly confirm. Is it clear, everyone? What is DFL? How we have calculated that?
Yes, students, please kindly confirm. Is it clear, everyone? Because after that, I'll start the next question, okay, about financial leverages. Shall we start, please? Haji, shall we start, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. So you can see the next question again is very simple actually. Because company's capital structure is given to you, that is equity share capital 1 lakh, preference share is 1 lakh, debenture is 1.25 lakh. Okay. The current EBIT is 50,000. You need to calculate financial leverages if the tax bracket is 50%. So first of all, what we will do, we'll calculate the earning per share. So EBIT minus interest. What is interest? 8% debenture. 8% of 1.25 lakh. So that would be 10,000. Okay. You will get EBT 40,000 minus income tax is 50%. That is 20,000. Okay. So very simple. Profit upon PBT or EBIT upon EBT 50 upon 40, which is 1.25. 1.25 signifies that the company having interest obligation of 10% in this case. Very, very simple question if you understood the first one.
Yeah, clear. This sir.
Clear?
Yes, clear.
That's fine. So we are taking a 5 minute of break now and we'll resume the class at sharp 6:20. Okay? Just 5 minutes of break. Then we'll discuss, I think, one or two more questions and one simple discussion on composite leverages. Clear? Yes, student, we can start now. Okay. So let me share my screen again. And first of all, we'll discuss for composite leverage. Okay. And then we'll discuss one more question and then we are done for this particular topic. Okay. So before moving further, we'll go for the composite leverage. Okay. Composite leverage is very simple actually. It is nothing but the multiplication of operating leverage and the financial leverages. Composite leverage basically will guide you about the total burden on the company in terms of financial and operating expense of the organization, or how the financial burden and the operating burdens are basically affecting the profitability of the organization. So the formula for composite leverage is operating leverage into financial leverages, or quantity upon EBT, or percentage change in EPS upon percentage change in sales. Please note down these three formulas first, and then we'll discuss one basic question of all three leverages now. Okay. Yes, students, please note down fast. I hope some are clearly audible. Yeah, sure. Then we'll discuss one basic question of this composite leverage and one last question of all three leverages. Yes, we're done with the formulas. Yes, students, please kindly confirm. Formula for composite leverage. Student, am I audible? Please kindly confirm. Have you noted down the formulas, please? Composite leverage.
No, sir.
Okay. Please do it fast. Then we can discuss one numerical of this composite leverage as well. Okay. And then tomorrow we'll start the next topic, that is cost of capital. Okay. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow we'll discuss cost of capital. These 2 days. Hanji. Done, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see that this is very basic question now. Yeah, sure.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Fine. Now we can discuss one basic question in which we'll calculate all that part: operating, financial, and composite. Okay, you can see this question right now. The sales is 5 lakh, variable cost 3 lakh, fixed cost 1 lakh, long-term loan 4 lakh, at 10% rate of interest. We need to calculate composite leverage. Now for composite, you required operating leverage and financial leverages. Okay. So you can see that first of all, country upon EBIT. How to calculate country? Sales minus variable cost. That is 2 lakh. Upon EBIT, that is 5 minus 3, 2. 2 minus 1, 1. So EBIT would be 1. So OL would be, sorry, that is 2. Okay, I'll just show you how we have calculated that part. You can see that sales 4 lakh, sorry, 5 lakh minus, sorry, less variable cost, which is what? 3 lakh. Okay. So it would give you the contribution of 2 lakh. Okay. Now out of this 2 lakh, we'll subtract fixed cost. The fixed cost would be 1 lakh. So you will get your EBIT, which is 1 lakh. From EBIT, we'll subtract interest. Interest how much? I think it is 4 lakh 10%. That is 40,000. 40,000. So you will get your EBT, which is your 60,000. Clear? So this is how we calculate all the values, and just simply put in the formula, you will get the answer. 1 minute, I think. Gunjan, I think you raised your hand. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
.34 is combined leverage.
Yes, yes. 10 by 3, 3.33.
3.33 or 3.33.
Understood, I think so?
Yeah, understood.
It's very, very simple topic actually, because if you understood this numerical, rest is very, very simple for you actually. This complete methods, okay? What different plans we have, how it is affecting the DFL. Because DFL is a major part in this particular topic. Rest, composite and operating is very simple. Haji, so any doubt to anyone in this topic now, please? Operating, financial and composite. We'll go for the doubts now, please. Haji students, any doubt to anyone, please?
So please display the last question, sir. I want
Last
to
question.
copy.
Yeah, just a minute. Last question.
Of composite leverage.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Please note down this income statement as well, okay? Anji, done everyone?
Yes.
Yes. So that's all about this leverage topic as well. Anji. So if you have any query, please do let me know. We can discuss those queries. And from tomorrow and next 2 sessions, that is Tuesday and Wednesday, we will go for cost of capital.
Sir, dividend decision हो चुका है?
No, ma'am, not yet. Dividend will discuss. I think working capital management you have. Okay.
Okay.
So any query?
हेलो
Yes.
सर, मेरे को एक लास्ट जो चैप्टर आपने करा था ना कैपिटल बजटिंग में,
हाँ.
जो आपने क्वेश्चन दिया था उसमें मेरे से पे बैक पीरियड तो हो गया था, एनपीवी भी निकल गया था, बट ये जो डी पे बैक पीरियड था वो तो मेरा कैलकुलेट ही नहीं हो रहा सर.
Wait. Let me share the screen. I think I have already explained those questions in the last class.
No. 2 questions. I raised 2 questions, but one will be done.
Okay, wait.
Second is जिसमें cost 75,000 and 50,000 थी.
हाँ. Yes. 1 minute, ma'am.
उसमें मेरा एनपीवी निकल गया, बट डीपीवी भी नहीं निकल रहा.
क्यों तो मैं पूरा सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा क्वेश्चन को एक्चुअली अपने को पूरा उसको. आप एक बार उसको सॉल्व करके पहले मैं आपको क्वेश्चन शो करता हूँ अभी. मुझे एक बार आप सेंड कीजिएगा उस क्वेश्चन को. ये वाला क्वेश्चन है ना?
दिख नहीं रहा.
1 minute.
हाँ, यही था जो अभी पहले दिखाया था.
इसके आंसर करके मैम पढ़िए.
इसमें ये जो डीपीवी है ना 5.10 नहीं आ रही भाई मेरी तो.
5.10 नहीं आ रहा है.
हाँ.
एक मिनट. इक्विपमेंट ए हैज अ कॉस्ट ऑफ 75,000 and net cash flow of 20,000 per year for 6 years. Okay. So 20,000 for 6 years. Okay. So that would be like if you were to multiply, like I think in this case, let me solve this. I think so. I'll just solve one question. I think. Fine.
Yes.
Because 20,000 till 5 years. Okay. So I think 0.909, 10%, right? It is no 11%.
No, 11%.
11.
0.901, 0.1812,
1 divided by 1.11. 0.9009.
हाँ.
So we'll calculate as 0.900 only. 901 only. Round off.
Yes.
Then
Round off.
812.
812, 732,
732. 659.
593,
And one more. 534.
535.
535. Yes. 535. Okay. So 20,000 into.
मैं बताऊँ? 18,020.
18,020.
16,240.
1 minute. Let me calculate. 20,000 into 812.812. 16,240.
14,640.
731 into 20,000. 14,620. 14,620.
Yes. 620 नहीं 40.
14,620. 14620.
14640 ना. मेरा तो एनपीवी तो कैलकुलेट हो गया सर.
No. 0.731 into 20,000.
मैंने 0.732 लिया है.
नहीं मैम 1 आएगा वो. डिफरेंस आएगा जब आपका उसमें. ठीक है. तो राउंड ऑफ में आपको क्या लिखना है? हाँ. 0.659 into 20,000. So that will be 13,180.
हाँ ठीक है.
Then 20,000 into 0.593 11860 and 0.535 into 20,000 is 10700. ठीक है. इसका क्यूमुलेटिव निकाल लेते हैं. क्यूमुलेटिव जरूरत है. यस. ओके. So 18020 plus 16240 34620 34260 sorry plus 14620 that would be 48. तो कॉस्टिंग क्या है इसका मशीन का? 75.
कॉस्टिंग 75,000
plus 13180 620 plus 11860 73920. Okay, plus 10700 84620. So definitely 5 years तो आएगा आपका ये. Complete year is 5. क्योंकि 73920 है आपका 5th year तक. ठीक है?
फर्स्ट ईयर आपने क्यूमुलेटिव करा है ना?
हाँ जी, क्यूमुलेटिव. तो 75,000 minus 73920. तो आपका रिमेनिंग आएगा 1080.
1 मिनट.
Required cash inflow upon next year's cash inflow. So 1080 divided by 10700. I don't know, sir. 1.5.104. Exact answer आ रहा है. Calculation mistake हुआ मैम आपका उसमें.
more than 5 year ना? Okay.
हाँ जी.
Okay. क्यूमुलेटिव वाला मेरा रह गया था. Okay.
ठीक है. हाँ जी, एक बार ट्राई कीजिएगा
ठीक है.
इसको. नहीं आए इन केस आपको और अगर तो just
नहीं
let-
नहीं हो जाएगा.
हाँ. So is there any more query please to anyone?
Sir, can you show the last slide? I think.
हाँ जी.
Can you show that last slide?
Last test slide. No.
Not down.
So which slide?
That exercise slide.
1 minute. From which topic? Budgeting or from leverages?
That the last slide.
This one?
Financial. Composite materials. No, sir, the next one.
Which one?
Right.
Is it done now?
This noted down.
Okay.
That,
Yes, sir. So
equipment today has cost of rupees 75,000.
okay. Capital budgeting. This one. This is a practice question I have given to the student actually from capital budgeting. Clear? हाँ जी. Is it clear, please? Yes, please kindly confirm. Is it clear now?
सर क्लियर है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन.
Yeah, sure. No, ma'am, we are done with the topic actually of leverages, and we'll sign out for the day now. And tomorrow we'll start out of capital. Next topic.
Okay.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
So shall we sign out then? If there is no more query now.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So we'll catch you
Yes,
tomorrow
sir.
at 5 o'clock sharp, and we'll start cost of capital. Okay. Thank you so much.